Hi, everyone.
It's Oz Talk time.
It's Oz Talk time.
Hello, Tori.
Hi, I am recovering from COVID, so please forgive me if I fall off my chair.
But you couldn't look lovelier.
Thank you, darling.
So, lots going on in the world of Oz, and it's such a what's a front? I was going to use the word bloated, which I don't want to use the word bloated. But
that is the wrong word. I would say that our balloon is full.
Yes,
of not just hot air,
but bubble overfloweth.
Our bubble overfloweth. We are obsessulated. There's all kinds of amazing Oz stuff going on right now. We are in the midst of the Wicked for Good press tour. They are actually having their London premiere. It starts in 30 minutes. You can actually watch it live right here on YouTube. So when you guys are done here, head over there immediately to go watch all the fun that's happening in good old London.
We got to do that too. We got to make sure we get off in time to get onto that, to watch that. I want to see that. That sounds really fun. But yes.
It's lovely that the Wicked team has done this because I know a lot of people are bummed they can't be there in person. This is a great way for all fans to engage with this incredible series of events. Of course, after that, they have Singapore and New York to look forward to. So lots of fun to come.
Mm-hmm. And for those that are getting ready to see Wicked for Good in theaters on November 21st, know that Wicked Part 1 is returning to theaters, I think now, and also making its Netflix TV debut on NBC November 19th. So
oh my gosh!
If you haven't seen it and maybe don't want to see that in the theater and are saving up to see Wicked for Good in the theater, you can check this out on NBC on Wednesday ahead of, again, I love this picture. I just want to stare at it. It's so good. Coming. I can't believe it's this week. Can you believe it's this week? It's crazy. I mean, this leading up to,
Yeah, no, this is crazy. So let's see. It's Monday. A week from today is the Wicked for Good New York City premiere.
Right. And that's the same day that a lot of people across the country have tickets to their Amazon Prime Video advanced screenings. So the world will all be seeing it together at one of those screenings at the premiere. It'll just be the time to rip the Band-Aid off, and then all's fair in love and Oz.
Absolutely.
So also really big news. I broke the news that the Wizard of Oz at Sphere was releasing a digital album a few months ago, and it finally dropped on Friday. It's got an amazing track listing, including a never before released digital HD rendering of Judy Garland singing Over the Rainbow a cappella, which is literally stunning. It's like startling. It is so good.
It's giving me life, honestly. And what I love about the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere is that they hired a full studio orchestra to return to the very sound stage where the original score was recorded at the original MGM lot. They recorded on that same space. They re-recorded the same score, looping those original voices back in. So these aren't dubbed. This isn't AI. This is Judy Garland's voice, just looped in with new orchestrations. And because they're fresh, you're hearing so many things in the orchestrations that kind of got lost to time from being remastered over and over. We finally hear that crisp score as it was intended to be heard, and it is just amazing. It's on Spotify and everywhere else where soundtracks are streaming. You can also pre-order a physical copy if that's your bag, and I just love it.
That's right. It's so great, as you said, because they re-recorded it. You are able to, they had the equipment they used to record today is so much more advanced than what they had in 1938 when it was recorded, and so that makes it it's like hearing it for the first time. Hearing it at the Sphere was magical. I'm so glad that they have released it now so everyone can enjoy it. But it is really like listening to it in a new way. If you've ever attended one of those live symphony playing along with the Wizard of Oz film anywhere, and the live symphony sometimes is a little bit on or off, but they had the opportunity to do it exact. So it is an exact recreation of the original score, and it's all released. Even the non-singing parts that they re-recorded on the score are available on this digital album, and you're hearing it as is at the Sphere. So for example, all of the cuts that were made within the Munchkinland sequence and in If I Only Had a Heart, and wherever it's shortened up and a little bit different, you're experiencing those cuts here. I was wondering, and I'm kind of a little hopeful, and maybe at some point they will have like re-recorded, the whole part, like to get the full If I Only Had a Heart instead of the truncated version that appears in the Sphere show. But you're getting the Sphere experience, and this is a great way that everyone, whether or not you can get to the Sphere, can experience one of the most wonderful aspects of it.
And if you can get to the Sphere, I know there's a lot of controversy about this particular release. I would recommend, if you're a serious Oz fan, I think it's an important thing to see, regardless of whether or not you consider this a cash grab or that you're upset with the AI. If you're an Oz fan, if you're an aspiring Oz historian, we'll be talking about this 30 years from now, because it is an important moment in Oz history. And we're still talking about the Wizard of Oz on ice. We're still talking about the Wizard of Oz at Madison Square Garden. For those of us who were too young to go to those things, deep regrets that I missed it. So I would suggest strongly, if you're a serious Oz fan, go so that you can have experienced this. Also, it's really more like, I would say it's more like an amusement park ride than a traditional sit down watch of the film. I felt like it was more of a theme park experience than
yes, it is more of an event. It's an event film. It's an event entertainment. And that is because of how immersive it is, how it's the exact film, and you can sit and watch the film that you know and love. And I see our special guest just joined us here. And we'll be able to have him on in a second. We've got Vince Spinnato, Cosmetic Chemist, who will be joining us shortly. But what's really interesting about the Wizard of Oz at Sphere is it has such an immersive aspect. So some parts, the more thrilling parts of the movie, like the tornado scene, you're actually put inside of, not just because of the the little leaves that are flying around and hitting you, but and the wind machine, but it's like the way that they animate, that's where they took really great use of artists and creatives giving prompts and working with AI to create the feeling as though, and the look as though you are Dorothy instead of watching Dorothy. It's amazing.
It was a singular experience. I am glad that I was invited to go and experience it. I might go again. I haven't made up my mind yet, because that first night, being the premiere night, it's such a big deal. You're in a fancy thing. I think I want to just like in a sweater and jeans, like just go sit back and really like just observe,
I recommend it. I was also there with you at the premiere. You were filming on your phone a lot too, which is, I'm thankful for that you actually got a record of some of that, because I didn't. And then, but I went back the next morning, and I think I did enjoy it even more the second time, where I didn't have all the pressure and the awe of like, oh my God, being so overwhelmed by like what's different and like noticing those things and staying with it. So, I think it's the greatest treat for a true Wizard of Oz MGM Judy Garland, as Dorothy Oz fan. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen, So I want to go back. Let me know when you want to go, Tori.
Sure, let's do it.
And it's great. And you were talking about how they're going to be releasing the album eventually for purchase. Also available now for pre-order at the Wizard of Oz at Sphere shop is this mat, which you can get, and it shows the front and the back here of it. So that's also, it's $50 and available for pre-order. That might look good on some Wicked Crossley record players available on Record Store Day. Tori, I know you got one already. Can we see it?
Yeah, it's over yonder. Do you guys mind if I get up and go get it?
You go grab it, because while you do that, I'll show
for a moment.
Yes, because I picked up the Wicked Uno pack, which I'm planning on bringing to my family Thanksgiving this year to see how. I haven't opened it yet, but it looks like, Elphaba is 1, Glinda is 2, the Wizard is 3. And here's the Crossley record player. We saw these at the merch launch in New York City. They've got a pink and a green. You got the Elphaba. Let's see it.
So at the Wizard of Oz at Home event in New York City, they had one of these playing. It's a suitcase turntable. Check this out. Look at that design. Look at the Wicked for Good label there. even, I've heard from some vinyl collectors that these aren't the best for playing your records on consistently, that because it's a smaller turntable, it can cause some warping with your records. I don't know anything about this. I am not a record collector. However, just for display value and as a collector, having a Wicked themed turntable, yes, please and thank you.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. The other thing I wanted to share, I shared the Uno, but I did pick up, I'm a sucker for Build-A-Bear. I got the
Yay!
Build-A-Bear, which is so cute. I've always liked that brand. And so I'm glad that last year they did an Elfie and I was a little chagrined. Like, how do you do the green bear and not a pink bear? Well, they had some shipping issues. They decided to wait for the release of For Good to promote this one. And here it is. It's there now. So now you can complete your set. I am a completist. Tori and I were talking about this the other day. I asked her if she was a completist for sets of things in her Oz collection.
It really depends. For me, the Mattel dolls are the things that I have to have all of them. And let me tell you, I just picked up.
Oh, this is the one.
Musical keepsake dolls.
It's sold out. It's too late to, you got to get it now on eBay for way too much.
Well, but you know what? These will come down. If you noticed last year, the ones that sold out, if you go online today to get them, they're like under retail price. So don't give up hope just yet. You can get them if you're savvy and if you are willing to wait for those prices to de-inflate. And I really think this, if you're a big doll collector, if you're an Oz collector, this is worth waiting for, because as you can see, the display value on these is absolutely phenomenal. They're gorgeous, beautifully boxed. I might have gotten a second one because somebody asked Santa for them.
Well, those of you who follow us religiously at Oz Talk will know that when it comes to the dolls, Tori is prone to buying two of everything. One for her to keep in the box as the collector, and the second for baby. Well, not a baby anymore.
Not a baby anymore. My middle school daughter, Rosa, who is too cool for school, but definitely goes every day. She's a good student.
Girl.
But she's a doll collector as well, but she's an out of the box doll collector, so we can't share. So
fair.
Yeah, she has to have her own.
It's totally fair. And now, without further ado, we've got some really exciting, a new Oz announcement, Oz adjacent, with the Fragrances of Oz, expanding on Turnkey Beauty's magnificent release at the 100th birthday party for Judy Garland of Judy Garland Fragrance, which Tori and I are both huge fans of. It's a beautiful unisex fragrance created by Vince Spinnato, who is joining us now. And today, we are thrilled to be joined by Vince Spinnato. He is a groundbreaking visionary and total creative titan in the beauty industry. He's a renowned couture chemist, developing skincare, hair care, bath and body, manicure, pedicure, baby and pet products, which we'll get to today, also fine fragrances, as well as color cosmetics. His company is Turnkey Beauty, and they've launched more than 300 brands over 30 years in business. He's worked with the biggest celebrities and fashion houses, and we first met him when he launched the Judy Garland Fragrance at the time, which would have been the legend's 100th birthday. So let's bring him onto the stage here and welcome Vince Spinnato.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We are so glad to see you again. We saw you at the Sphere in person. We were all at the premiere for that. It was great to see you. And before we get to your fragrances, you actually have made some specific to be sold exclusively at Sphere Wizard of Oz scented candles. Tell us about them.
Yes, exactly. So we did two, one for called Poppy Fields and one Emerald City. And it would be exactly what you were. I don't know if we're still here.
Yeah. I just need you full screen.
Okay, I'm not following the. I'm not the IT guy around here. Yeah, but
that's me.
Yeah, no worries. But two different experiences. For as we know in the movie, the Poppy experience, and also, of course, when Judy enters Emerald City. So we wanted to try and catch those two experiences in the film. In the candle itself. So of course the Poppy Fields candle is very, very in poppy and floral notes, and then we have the Emerald City one, which is a dark kind of chocolate and almost like an Andes mint type of emerald and chocolate notes kind of put together. Of course, emerald don't smell, but we do have emerald extract in the fragrance as well too.
Now, I am not somebody who knows a ton about fragrances. When people ask me, what is the reason that I love to wear this? What are the notes? What are the things about it that I love? I can never articulate what it is. I just know that I love it. Can you help me articulate what it is that is so universally appealing about the Judy Garland fragrance?
Yeah, sure. And just going back, a bit, Tori. We hope that anyone that would love Judy's work, her legacy, and just her who she was as a person would enjoy her fragrance. So we did do it, as you know, very very methodically and surgically with her with Judy's children, Lorna Luff and Joey Luff and Liza Minnelli. So we through them. We got to find out what their mother what she wore, what she didn't wear, what she liked, what she didn't like, and even down to all the notes. Judy, as you guys all know, is a very, very fan of chocolate and of candy in general because she never was allowed to have it. So there are some chocolate notes on there in the top that we told from her children Judy would have really, really loved. But the main notes are tonka bean, a lemmy, of course the Judy Garland rose is the top note as well too, because Judy has her own rose. But all that together gives it a very, very sweet scent, but also is grounded in things that are more earthy, like the blood orange and dark orchid, and all these things that kind of make it more rounded, and also very unisex as well too. So I think that's why we do get a lot of universal people that like it, because it just has a lot of different notes on it that are very balanced. It's not like it doesn't lead with rose, it doesn't lead with chocolate, it doesn't lead with coriander or tonka bean, which are all notes of the fragrance, but it is all balanced to makes it very very unisex and very neutral, I would say, where a lot of people really enjoy it.
Well, I get compliments everywhere that I go that I wear it. Everyone goes, "Oh, you smell amazing. What are you wearing?" And on a personal note, my husband proposed at that beautiful event that you held 3 years ago to celebrate Judy's 100th birthday. So we both wore it to our wedding. We both had Judy Garland roses, and I will never not wear it.
And you'll love me forever or hate me forever, depending on how it's going.
We do love you. We love you. Well, we love you personally. You're an amazing friend and a really cool guy, but also just your career is so impressive. But then also we've got this side of you where it's like you're giving us more Oz product and merch. And you know how like fragrances, every fragrance smells a little bit different on a person because it adapts to your own pheromones or skin or whatever. And I will attest that it's especially beautiful on Tori. Tori wears that fragrance beautifully. I wear it all the time and get compliments, so I can also attest to its unisex viability and how wonderful that is. So we are big fans, and you have different versions of it. There is a special collectible 100th birthday bottle on the left. We see the gorgeous bottle of Judy Garland fragrance that is inspired by her work in the song "Get Happy" from Summer Stock. You've got Judy and Oz, which is the body spray, and of course the travel spray.
Right. Yeah, and speaking of the Spear guys, you don't even know this yet, but we actually did, and this is coming out in a couple of weeks. We did do a limited edition fragrance for the Spear as well too. So it's the exact same Judy fragrance in the keepsake bottle that Tori was holding, but we did do a limited edition sleeve for them. So it's just a lovely sleeve of the beautiful image of Dorothy and the crystal ball over the bottle itself. We call it we have the keepsake box, which which the Tori showed, and then we have the common box, which is a beautiful just like gift box. And this is what we're doing with the Spear. It's going to have a nice sleeve going over top of it with that as well too. And then we have a third candle coming out with the Spear in a couple of weeks as well too, which is the Judy candle. So it's the actual Judy fragrance that you guys are in. The fragrance is in the candle now. So
my God. So our homes can fill up that beautiful fragrance.
Right. And
I would say also this would make an amazing holiday gift if you are somebody who has an Oz fan in your life or a Judy fan in your life, or if you are a Judy fan. With the holiday season coming up, this would make an amazing under the tree gift, stocking stuffer, Hanukkah present. I think this would be great for all of the above. And as a brand ambassador, I actually do have a discount code, so you can head to my link tree, you guys, if you want to take advantage.
And your link tree has the code.
It does indeed.
What is the code?
It's OzVlog10 for 10% off.
There we go. That's great. Even better for holiday gifting. And I'm really excited, Vince, because you were so inspired by all of your love for working with Judy and Oz. You're an animal lover, and you recently came out with this, which is the Toto pet fragrance. And it's amazing. It's not just for dogs. It's for cats. It's for all of your four-legged friends. It's for anyone with fur. It's alcohol-free, vet-approved, safety-tested. It smells so exquisite. I have an actual screen-accurate replica version, real-life Toto of my own, who absolutely loves it. One thing I love, especially about this fragrance, is not only does it smell so much better than most pet fragrances. I mean, Vince, when I tell you, I'm not even exaggerating. This is my collection of pet fragrances for Toto. And I'm ready to get rid of them all because that this
Yeah.
exists. Honestly, my Toto loves it so much. You can see she's checking it out here. She's absolutely obsessed with it. And so, what can you tell us about how you began to craft this fine fragrance for our animal lovers, and our friends?
And the funny thing, Ryan, is that they do love it a lot more, and it's not for the reason why you think. I'm going to tell you guys why. So this is pet fragrances, even for the last, like, let's call it even 100 years, we really couldn't really do them properly because animals should not be having alcohol, on their skin. And only about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years at the max, us in the fragrance community and the cosmetic chemistry community, we figured out how to do it. It's called micellar technology, which is actually microcellulizing the essential oils, which are only, of course, oil soluble, but making them soluble now in water. So the animals, of course, smell way, way better than human beings do. And they pick up that alcohol smell right away before you even start approaching them with the bottle. And I thought it was kind of a fluke even myself. So I thought, even with my own dogs, I have two 200-pounders, and I've been, putting fragrances on them for years. Again, not really supposed to be because it's not, but just like a little spray, but they don't really like it. They run for the hills. And every animal we've been putting this on, cats and or dogs. And I happen to live, on a horse farm across the street from a horse farm, I should say. And we have hundreds of horses across the street, and the horses, we're spraying it on their mane and everything as well too, and they're loving it. So being alcohol free is really, really, really key, because it's only one other brand that we're aware of in the market that's alcohol free, like this Toto one is. So it's all in a water system. So that's why we got the veterinary approval right away. The animal can get it in their mouth, God forbid. They can lick their paws. It's completely safe. Also, every essential oil and or note that we chose is been proven to be safe, and not only safe for pets, but also sometimes enhances calmness. So we did a poppy strain, which what poppies do. Poppies in theory are kind of relaxing because opium comes from poppies, etc. So we do have these poppy strains also in the fragrance blend as well too, to help calm your animal as well too. And that obviously is a nod to Wizard of Oz, but also they work as far as calming the animal down a little bit. And I don't know anybody that says, hey, I want my pet to be more obnoxious or more jumpy. So everybody wants their pet to be a little calmer. So it really is. It's not just that smells really nice, Ryan, to your point, but the animals, we seem like now that we're trying on a lot of them, and why the vets approved it so quickly, that they're not smelling that alcohol, which is so strong that they can smell it right through a box, and they're not smelling it here. So when you approach your animal with the fragrance, and I could, I'll just give you a little demonstration here. Why not? I have both my girls at my feet here, and this is obviously not pre-done because they're dogs, but I have my beautiful 200-pound Dominique here sitting here, and you'll see I can spray her, and she probably won't even pick up her head because she's very, very lazy. But it's just if I had alcohol on this, she'd be like running for the hills. And
Sure.
then I got Clementine here down on my bottom feet, who's my 100-pound Saint Bernard, right? And she's just growing up, but she lets me spray it on her as well too. Don't make a liar out of me now, but at the time, I'm just kidding. But yeah,
So cute.
If this had alcohol in it, they'd be running. You're running for the hills, And I don't know if the other things you guys might have noticed as well too, is that, of course, a lot of times we use these fragrances as after they've been groomed, and dogs specifically have that that wet note smell to them when they're drying. So if you smell Toto, it has that little bit of a wet note in it as well too, but in a good way, where it helps to mask actually that smelling of the fur. And that's why we have the lychee flower here, sugar bergamot, this vetiver, dark orchid. Again, all these ones, these oils are not just chosen for a reason. They're chosen because they're very, very safe for pets. So we didn't want to do something like hydrangea, which is poisonous to pets, for example, or something with chocolate, because chocolate is not good for animals either. So all these notes were specifically chosen. And don't get me wrong, they're also meant to go with the Wizard of Oz story. And we have the emerald extract in here. We have, of course, the 3 poppy strains. We have red poppy, black poppy, and blue poppy strains is here as well too. But as a whole entire collection, the most important thing to know is that it's very, very safe for your pet. All animals, they can get it in their mouth. They can lick their paws if they need be. So it's again, that's why it got veterinary approved so quickly. And
I can attest when I showed you I had that fragrance collection for Toto, and she always hated it. Whenever I would try to use those on her, I'd have to like gate her in the kitchen to try to get control of her to use them. She hated them. Yours is not like that. She will sit just like you showed with your dogs. She loves to have it applied, and it's the first time ever for all those different fragrances that I've tried in the past, which I just thought because I would like the way that they smelled. This does seem to have a calming effect, but it's the first time taking Toto out because I take her everywhere with me. She's gotten compliments. I've gotten compliments on how great she smells. And ooh, what is that? I'm almost tempted to try it on. Do you know that have worn this?
I already have people that are doing that, to your point. And that's the other thing too, Ryan and Tori, that it also got a lot of longevity to it. So I mean, I wash my girls every single Saturday morning. That's like my thing. So now we're Monday morning, and they still, even before I sprayed it, they're still smelling really good in their coats. You get a good, I would say a good solid 3 days out of 72 hours out of it before you have to reapply. Yeah.
Yeah, my dog and cat both sampled it, and they both are very skittish, and even the sound of a spray bottle usually sends my dog running, but they both approached it. They liked the smell so much that my dog was like, what is that? And even if you don't have a pet and you're just an Oz collector, as an Oz collector, I would have actually purchased this anyway because the display value on this box is so beautiful, and Toto never gets enough merch. So I would have definitely just purchased this anyway regardless, because you did such a beautiful job on the artwork.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really pretty. And then just one more thing to add, guys, before I forget, because I was talking about the longevity of the fragrance. The other thing that we did as well too is that there's a very, very, very small coconut surfactant in it, which is like that surfactants are used to actually cleanse your animal. That's what causes suds and shampoo and that kind of thing. And when you have an alcohol product, the alcohol, like even in a fine fragrance on humans, it flashes off at a period of time. So even when we make fragrances for humans, it's alcohol based, yes, but we have water in there and a little bit of surfactant to actually hold it onto the skin. So same thing we did here with the pet fragrance. It's got so if you were to actually rub it in like really, really hard, you'll get a little bit of suds, and that's what helps hold it on the animal's hair and not just going onto the skin rather than just flashing off. So it kind of stays in their coat a lot deeper for that's why I get like that 72 hour dish out of it.
Oh, at least. Yes. And I love, so you said it's got white lychee, sugared bergamot, lush orchid. There is also poppy variations, like you said, ruby red rose. And I have to ask, how do you get extract out of an emerald?
It's extract stone. So what actually, it's like I have a skincare line called Diamond and Caviar, and it's thurt, and thurt is actually dust. So diamond dust, emerald dust, so you can get ruby dust as well too. It's really, really good, and on humans it's really, really good for anti-aging. But it's actually in the form of thurt, which you can call it. I don't want to say the word dirt because it's not dirt, but like thurt, SIRT. It's actually the dust of the emerald when it's being mined.
How interesting!
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and so also like I think, yeah, it's really great. We have said that it's available for all animals, not just dogs, but also cats, horses, like you said. And it is also a really good for the holidays. Tori, do you have a Toto? Toto and Tori. Tori, do you have a code for this also through your?
I don't have a code for this, unfortunately, but you know what, guys? It is totally worth full price.
It is worth full price. It's just so much more elevated than any other fragrance you could buy on Amazon or any pet store. It's fabulous. So thank you.
And to your point, we're on, of course, the code for anything we haven't Wizard about, but we just got to I guess we just got to set it up. But
yeah, get her a code.
Yeah, for sure.
We're watching and get some savings.
Yeah, that was just us dropping the ball. We should have. Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
For sure.
Okay, so keep posted to Tori's link tree. She will have a code eventually.
Yeah.
Very good. Vince, it's so exciting. You've got the Judy Garland candle coming out. Will the candles that are available at the Sphere, will those the Sphere keeps getting extended, and deservedly so. It's so fabulous. But after that, because they're not available online, will those candles also be available on the Sphere shop, or will you eventually make those Wizard of Oz candles available?
Yes, actually, yes and no. And I'll tell you yes and no, that the Sphere has an agreement with Warner Brothers. They only sell at the Sphere. So right now it can't go into the open market. But to your point, we're doing our own Judy candle that we're launching on our website. So we're calling the one for the Spirit of Dorothy candle because it's actually the Dorothy character. But we, as you know, I only work with Judy Garland, the actual human being, not any of her characters. So I have Judy's name, her likeness, her body of work, and I'm working with her family and her estate. So I'm Judy Garland, the person at Turnkey Beauty, and then the Spirit of Dorothy, the character. So that's just really more of an IP thing. So the Spirit's going to continue to sell the Dorothy IP for as long as the Wizard of Oz is running, but then not for us is going to be the Judy Garland candle, but it'll be the exact same. It's the exact same scent.
Excellent. That's very, very cool. Amazing. And you also have an incredible book out, Your Pursuit of Beauty. If you want to know more about Vince, also there's the great documentary Skin Deep, Formulating a Legacy, which is really cool. I've seen it. It's an excellent watch because Vince, it's so incredible, your career and the people you've worked with and the companies you've worked with. I mean, tell us about like what your childhood was like. Did you aspire to become this titan of beauty, and how do you become a certified nose? I guess those are two fun questions.
Well, funny enough, I actually did, and you got. I don't know your age, Ryan, but I know Tori's too young, but maybe you're too young as well too. But well, the guy's not too young because it's still
I'm older than you.
I know it's still okay. So I was going to talk to you about The Young and the Restless, but which is actually still on today on CBS, yes. Right? So believe it or not, that honestly is the truth. I grew up watching The Young and the Restless with my grandmother. And I think I started when I was Young and Restless came out the year I was born, which was 1974, is the year it came out. And I was watching it since I was like 4 years old. So like 1978, 79, I started watching it and at least understanding what was going on. And long story short, they had a fictitious cosmetic company on the show called Jabot, which is their beauty company. And that's where I got the idea from in the late 70s. And I never changed my mind. So I always go back and I say thank you to William Bell, who's the creator of The Young and the Restless. That gave me my career, because that's really where it came from, and I just stuck with it. So by the time I was getting ready to go to college, I knew I wanted to go into cosmetic chemistry, so I designed my own major. I spent 2 years with Chanel over in Paris, and they trained me in the beauty aspect of chemistry. And it really started from that young, since 4 or 5 years old. I never shook it. Even back in the day in the 70s, there was the Easy Bake Oven, which a lot of the viewers might not know about. We all know about it, but I used to pretend, my sister had one of those, and I used to pretend I was making fragrances in this Easy Bake Oven thing. I had like little essential oils and stuff, and I was mixing it, and that goes back as early as like 6 years old. So I never shook it.
And were you starstruck like the first time you started like meeting and working with someone like J-Lo,
I wasn't in the very, very beginning. I honestly was, because I was only like 18. I got Jennifer Lopez's project. I opened my company in 95. And I had her project in 1999, so I still was pretty green. So I got starstruck with her first, but now I just became so used to it that I really don't. I think that's why actually I get to work with a lot of celebrities. So I'm not starstruck at all. I work with them like I would with anybody, and I tell everybody very, very publicly, whether you're Madonna or you're Ryan and Tori, your dollar is just as green as Madonna's, and it really is the truth. It doesn't go any further, any less than anybody else. So I treat everybody exactly the same, whether I have a salon, a spa, a plastic surgeon, a doctor, a retailer, a celebrity, a D celebrity, A-list celebrity. Everyone gets treated exactly the same with the same respect, and we treat everybody equally.
Mm-hmm. And what was it that inspired you after working so long with, you've worked with Louis Vuitton and Chanel and all the big, fashion icons and all these great celebrities? What was it that inspired you, or where did you first get the idea to then turn and do legacy products for, someone like Judy Garland? Can we also announce who you're working on next after Judy?
Yes, for sure. It's all public, and I'll tell you guys for sure. But I that's part of my childhood as well too. I happen to grow up in a very, very musical family. My grandfather was a conductor at the Philadelphia Symphony for 35 years. So I grew up in classical music and that kind of thing. And my grandmother and him met playing in the pits for the Lauren Hartley silent movies back in the 1920s, which also lead me to one of our other actresses that I work with as well now too. And I'll tell you all about them in a minute. But my father played trumpet his whole entire life, and he got to play with Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong back in the day in the very late 1960s. So every single day, every single night, and my whole entire childhood was Frank Sinatra, Judy Garland, Ella Fitzgerald, Dean Martin, Rosemary Clooney, Maria Callas, the great opera singer. I mean, all really the great. So I grew up with all that. So as I got later on in my career, and to your point, Ryan, I'm about 25 years in. Only about 5 years ago, I had the way the Judy Garland project came to came to pass, which was my first legend that I worked with, is that Lorna happened to get a hold of my book, and she read my book. I talk about her mother a bit in my book, again, because I grew up watching her, and I'm a big fan, like a lot of people are. And Lorna reached out to me and said, "Hey, my mother is would have been turning 100 in 2 years from now," this was 2 years before she turned 120 in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, by the way. So also, not only did we develop a fragrance with Lorna, Liza, and Joey, we also did it in the middle of a global pandemic where we actually I had to present these fragrances for all three children to approve or disapprove of, while wearing masks and having to be 6 feet apart. So it was really, really a challenging, process. But with that, that's where it's kind of, so I jumped on that right away. And then that led to the great silent movie star Clara Bow. We have a beautiful body mist we did for her, and also Maria Callas, a great opera singer, as well too. And then also very, very soon in April, this April coming up of 2026 will be a beautiful fragrance we're launching for the great Ella Fitzgerald as well too, and then the great Joan Crawford in 2027.
Wow.
So we have. I always want potential. I always telling Louise, who's my business partner and our COO over in the UK. I always wanted to have at least 3 legendary ladies, and I'm very, very happy with the 3 that I have, because I really feel we have a beautiful, rounded out group of women here that all did something very different. They're all legends in their own right, as you know. Joan Crawford.
Please tell me that the body spray version of Joan Crawford can be called "Mommy Dearest."
I know. Well, actually, no, and the reason why I know is I would, like anything, I'm doing that project with her family as well too, with Casey, and they're not big fans of that film for obvious reasons.
I was joking.
No, I know, but I asked about it as well too, and the funny thing is, Casey actually is pretty cool and pretty savvy. He's like, and it probably would actually sell. We're with the thing that we did with Joan Crawford. I think it's really interesting. I really wanted to lean into her body of work as well too. She very, very famously was obsessed with the Academy Award, winning it and losing it both.
Yeah.
There was a big thing for her. So what we're doing for her is very, very reminiscent to her bottle, is very much reminiscent to what a very vintage Oscar would look like, and gold, a lot of gold, and something that we feel through Casey after getting his approval. His grandmother would have really, really, really loved it.
Yeah.
And Ella, being the queen of jazz and the first lady of song, she's the love of my life, and she's really the one I'm playing, full time in my house, 24/7. Been that way since I was a kid. Thank God I married somebody. My husband has actually loved her, or I think he would have kicked me out of the house. But she really is being played, all the time. So the Ella Fitzgerald project, also, I already been working on her fragrance for 2.5 years. It's coming out on which would be her 110th birthday. On April 25th, 2026, coming up. And what's really cool about that too, just like Judy, you and Tori came to the event at the Ebell Theater, where Judy was discovered back with her sisters, back in the day. Same thing here. I'm doing this project in collaboration with the Apollo Theater, who, the Apollo, of course, founded Ella as well too. So the Apollo is very, 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 very much involved in this project. They're going to help me launch it. They're going to have their logo on a limited edition later on down the road when we launch it, a part 2 to Ella's project. So I like to have all these places where these ladies were discovered as well too, knowing how important that they were to their legacy. And there would be no Apollo without Ella Fitzgerald, and they're the first ones to admit it. So they hopped on board right away with us to be a part of this project with her as well too.
Wow.
Absolutely fantastic. And one of my favorite artists as well. Cannot wait to see that.
Yes.
And the fragrance is amazing. It's really, really good. Really good.
Vince,
and honestly, this was the hardest one for me, because Ella is the only one who doesn't actually have family alive. So this one I'm really doing off of what I love about her and what I know about her and what I researched about her, and what, of course, I'm working with her foundation. We're doing this officially, with the foundation, but she's the only one I worked with that has well, that's not true. Her stepson is still alive, but wasn't really involved in her project. But so we really had to kind of do this one rogue, and I personally think this is the best fragrance I ever made. So we'll see what you guys think.
We can't wait to experience that as well. And all of your work is so amazing, and we were so thrilled to be able to catch up with you. I know you're very busy, but thank you for taking the time today.
Of course. Amazing.
More about Judy Garland Fragrance, which is available at judygarlandfragrance.com. If you are able to check out Tori's link tree, you can get a discount code, which is OSLOG10.
Yes.
OSLOG10 for 10% off of those fragrances. Soon she'll be having one as well for Toto Pet Fragrance, which is available at totopetfragrance.com just in time for the holidays. And so great. Honestly, this is the best gift to give. If you've got a friend who is a dog parent and you don't know what to get them, this is it. Full stop. That's what you got to get him. And Vince is available on social media at Vince Spinnato. There's also VinceSpinnato.com. TurnkeyBeauty.com is his company's website to stay up to date for everything that he's got going on and more. Vince, thank you so much for joining us. We just couldn't agree more.
Tori, and we'll get you that code, and it'll be the same one, make your life easy. And then just to correct, we're turnkeybeauty.net, NET, not .com.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries. Like I make the mistake even myself a lot of the times. I just want to say .com, but thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you too. Bye, guys.
All right, bye. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you, guys. Good seeing you.